So, first of all, who are Precisely? We are a leader in data integrity, serving 12,000 customers across the world and over 90% of the Fortune 100 businesses. And we're there giving our customers support in getting accuracy, consistency, and context around their data. And our unique combination of software, data, and strategic services are all applied to get trust in that data to ensure that companies are making the best decisions with the best data that they have. But obviously we're in a conference all about AI, so I'm going to be talking about AI and lots of numbers on here. I think just looking at the size of this and the amount of people in the queue that we had to stand in beforehand, we all know the acceleration of interest in AI and companies looking to apply that to automate and scale their businesses, to be able to predict better, but also to maintain their competitiveness within the market. And its chances are you're already investing in AI and generative AI. We see in statistics over 90% of businesses are already got investments within artificial intelligence, and many major businesses, 70% of major businesses are already building data science teams around delivering AI. And why are we doing that? We're all doing that to improve and speed up our decision-making process, to accelerate that journey, to be a data-driven business, but again, be able to maintain competitiveness within the market. And I think we're all very used to using a lot of AI in the market, chatbots, AI assistants, all of those types of things that we're used to applying. But chances are your data isn't ready. And we're releasing a study today in conjunction with the Labo business study, and they've, in their survey, they've identified that only 12% of businesses believe they have sufficient quality and access for data for their AI models. So you've got 90% of companies looking at already applying this, yet little confidence in the data they're using. So if you are an end user in a company, that's really important too. If you're a vendor, like we are, business opportunity for us around helping those customers get trust in the data they're using. And if you don't have good quality data, we can see the impacts that AI has, be bias, hallucination, poor model performance, poor predictive models. All of those things can happen. And just to dig into a couple of those, bias is a real business issue that we need to address. It can have significant consequences on the integrity and the confidence that both your colleagues and your customers have in your business. And we can see, we've seen the photographs generated by AI that can have all sorts of problems, but it can have significant business issues. We saw a teaching organization find a six-figure number because their algorithm excluded people over the age of 55. And that's important because that's where I am right now, and I don't want to be excluded from the business world. And then you have healthcare organization that applied an algorithm that then excluded non-white people from the process. These are bad outcomes. These are bad things to happen with bias. What drives that bias? Inaccuracy in your data, getting good quality data and ensuring that you understand the process to get that good quality data, so you've got accuracy. And then there's relevance, getting context. And Costanza is really going to talk about the value of context in generating insights from AI models and then delivering those to customers. Context is really important. I'll give you one very simple high-level example. The United Nations recognizes 195 countries. However, the International Standards Authority recognizes 249. I'd say those numbers are relevant when I said that, but those two numbers are correct to the context of those businesses, and that's really, really important, ensuring that you're getting the context right for what you are doing. So when we look at those things, in terms of Precisely, we see three critical elements of getting that data integrity around breaking down the data silos through data integration and bringing those together primarily in a cloud platform and accessing that data together. Then applying data quality and governance, and that's ensuring both quality within and governance in your data, but also with the processes and outcomes of your AI model. And then adding to that is context information, being able to enrich it with external third-party data. We talked about bias earlier. One of the reasons is, as companies, we have a tendency of having a certain customer type. I built my reputation up in building geodemographics, understanding the types of customers you attract. You will attract certain types, which means you have an inherent bias in your data. By looking at external sources of information about the market in general, you can apply context and look to reduce that bias by having a broader view of the market. With that, I'm going to hand over to Costanza, which I expect is why you're all here, because she's going to talk some really interesting stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about me and the company I work with. So my name is Costanza, I'm a data scientist, and I work for Generali Real Estate, which is part of Generali Investments. Currently, we are managing roughly 38 billion of assets with a very particular portfolio that also includes extremely, I would say, trophy assets such as Procuratie Vecchie in Venezia or Palazzo Bonaparte in Rome. We're managing more than 2,000 buildings, and we're doing this for insurance, for our group insurance, Assicurazioni Generali, for the last 190 years ago. Got quite a experience. And we are more than 360 professionals working in 9 countries, mainly in Europe. Today I want to tell you a story about a product story, and it's a corporate story as well. So I'm not a startup owner, I'm not a funder, I'm an executive, and I will start from the end. So I will show you the product CT4 today, and then I will do a little bit of reverse engineering about the challenges we faced. So I'll leave it to you, this brief video. So cool, right? However, this was a journey of 6 years, because basically Generali Real Estate embarked on a very ambitious journey in 2019, deciding that he would be the second leading real estate asset manager in Europe to equip itself with a team of professional machine learning and data science professionals that will be exclusively devoted to the deployment and design and development of proprietary machine learning applications. I have been leading that team from day one, and we actually started working in a very, very, very interesting industry, because the real estate was both at the same time the horror and the dream of any data scientist. It was a greenfield. So we needed to put our intuition, our creativity, besides our technical capabilities, to achieve something that was meaningful for the company. And we started from one intuition that there was more beyond just the normal metrics used in real estate: capital value, prime yields, transaction volumes, and so on. That there were power in things that we were not using and we were not looking at, such context in geographical information. And we actually understood that over a cycle, roughly 7 years, almost the 60% of the change in value over time wasn't explainable using traditional metrics, so we needed to find which were the ones that were bringing us more value. And that was the beginning of the City Forward journey. So what we did was actually building the biggest, most diverse, and most granular data infrastructure of location intelligence in Europe. We have more than 800 variables right now, but the interesting thing is that these variables are now operative through more than 30 machine learning models that are proprietary of Generali Real Estate, that basically solves more than a dozen of use cases with ROI scalable results and KPI. We have been building this across Europe, and we really reach unprecedented granularity, variety, and forecasting accuracy with an average over 92%. We have many types of data in our database. Some of them are through great partnership, like the one we got with Precisely. Some of them are actually produced and retrieved by us directly. When we approached this project, and we were speaking about AI in its machine learning dimension, so everyone now thinks about AI being an LLM. AI, it's a lot of things. It's neural networks, it's deep learning, it's machine learning, and it's computer vision. So I will be speaking about the computer vision and ML dimension. And when we started, we didn't have this data, and we needed to scout the market, in a market, Europe, that is very diverse. So the first things was enrich the data to reduce bias. Anyone who is a data scientist in this audience knows that this is a big problem, because then your model learns wrongly. So we had to balance the locations, South Europe, Northern Europe. So we needed to be to make a sample that made sense. We needed to find a balance between urban mega cities like London, Milan, Paris, and secondary city as well, because we're speaking about two different kind of items here. And also we needed to ensure diversity in source and type. I don't know if this is working. Sorry. Can you go to the next slide? Okay. So once we run the model, the first couple of models, we understood that there were data that were particularly contributing to the forecast and to the prediction. Those data were the context, the socio-demographic, the mobility in general, and what I call the real estate suites. Here we have the real estate ads, but in institutional investments that actually capture the same thing. One is the basically private one, and one is the institutional one. The strategy of Generali was to maintain a good balance between global and local sources, but we needed to ensure that these type of data were the same everywhere we needed to go. So for this reason, what we did, it was establish partnership with very big data providers such as Precisely, and we started building a sort of scalable and quality assured baseline where we built then the product. This was very important because we also needed to ensure that the data were sampled in the same way, delivered with the same granularity every time, every year, in every location. Finally, I'll give you a bite about the enrichment and what it meant for us. In 2022, we launched our satellite modules. The satellite modules runs into a proprietary computer vision algorithms that does a very interesting thing: feature extraction from buildings. We started using it to do CO2 emissions estimation first, but now we're using it for a lot of other use cases, including evaluation. However, when we started making the test, we understood that the feature extraction alone wasn't leading to good enough accuracy results. We didn't understand because we knew that it was done and we couldn't really understand. So one of my senior data scientists said, let's try to add a context vector and try to understand if this will make a difference. And when we did, the accuracy improved roughly 17%. So we understood that even when we're speaking about AI, especially in the context of geographical and location intelligence, there is no AI without location intelligence. So I thank you very much, and I will let Andy finish. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Costanza. And hopefully you've seen a little secret that I didn't let into, is that Costanza and I are specialists in geospatial data. That's the products that I manage at Precisely. And that sort of context information is really important. I'll put a plug there. You can see a number of location-based companies within the stands. If you're not using anything about location within your business insights, you're really missing something. So come and talk to us about it. But just to sort of come towards the end of the third part of the presentation, first of all, I wanted to just hit a couple of other case studies that we've worked on. The first is a mortgage finance company that were looking to build machine learning models to understand their housing market trends. And a key part of what they were trying to do was identify more affordable housing for low-income families. And what they realized is, as we see in many, many cases, data silos, unstandardized data, really didn't understand the processes that were going on with their data. And what we're able to do is work with them across both our software and data. First of all, data quality, get the address right, and then locate that address with a coordinate. This is talking about houses. We need to know where they are, what they're situated within, and within that, apply a unique and persistent ID that allowed us to then enrich those addresses with things like property attributes, flood, wildfire risk, demographics, all of that type of information. What that allowed them to do was identify $7 billion more of multifamily homes, and it increased the availability of affordable housing by 34%. So a very significant impact on what they needed to do as a business. The second one is around a healthcare administrator, pensions, health insurance, those types of things, and they were managing around just under $750 billion worth of assets. Again, they had data silos from lots of acquisitions. I expect we've all been there quite a few times. We certainly have at Precisely, understanding those, trying to bring them together. They've got multiple versions of the same record for the same customer with lots of different information. They also had lots of real-time data or near real-time data coming in, and they needed to get control of this to be able to build this platform for their AI and machine learning. So first of all, I think we see a lot of observability going along around stands. It's really important understanding what's changing within the attributes and the file structures. As a data provider, I know changing my file structures of my products is the ultimate sin for any end user. So you need to observe. What do you do when you get an alert? Well, first of all, you need to have some governance to know where's that data come from, what's it being processed, what's the sources, and therefore where's the error. And then when you get to that, you need data quality to be able to improve that data and therefore get the processes working along that. And that ensured that they could get this unified data framework to deliver their AI and machine learning platform that they so desired, and they seem to be very happy at this time. Get it there? So just going back to a slide that I showed a little earlier, getting data integrity for AI, we see again, you look at lots of standards, it's all around quality of data, what's going in there, because you can run any algorithm in the world. If you've got rubbish data, you're going to get a rubbish output, and that's just the way it is. One of the reasons why I got into data products, I started my life out many years ago doing retail analytics models, and it didn't matter how sophisticated we were at the maths, the statistics, the data was poor. So first of all, you need to ensure you're integrating your data, getting that data out of silos, using it in a combined way to be able to apply quality and governance, and do that both in terms of AI, it's both the data and the model, and then enriching that data with third-party data. And I encourage you to look at how data around a location can really help you. We know that's not a straightforward journey. Looks like a tube map, because that's what happens. We go in all sorts of directions. And what we find is our customers need to enter that journey at different places, at different scales, and at different speeds. So the sort of journey around the underground is a really good sort of analogy for understanding how you work with a customer. And how do we do that? We do that through what we call the Data Integrity Suite, a series of SaaS-based services that can be deployed where your data is, on-prem or in the cloud, through data integration, cataloging, observability, all the things you would expect to be in a data management process to get quality data into your models. But what we also do is specialize in location, both in terms of locating an address with a geocode, being able to enrich that address with a whole array of global referenced data, but also then apply spatial analytics, so understanding the relationships between all of that data. So those are the capabilities. What we're doing today is releasing our annual report with Drexel University and their Lebow College of Business, which is called Data Integrity Trends and Insights. If you can get that QR code, good luck. There's the link. If you come to our stand, there will be a link on there. What this is really good is it presents a whole survey of significant businesses around their view of where they are in terms of achieving trust in their data. So again, if you're a customer, you can read it, maybe feel good about yourself because you're not in the we're not doing it stage, or as a vendor, the opportunity there to work with organizations as well. So please have a look at that, have a read of it, and I keep swinging this around. And then just to close out, we're at stand Y350, just on the other side of it. I would say we're the purple one. Purple seems now a very popular colour. When we chose that 4.5 years ago, it wasn't. Now everybody seems to be purple, including us. But please come along. We've got demos. If you don't know anything about what's he talking about, this geospatial data stuff, like, come and ask us. Costanza and I will be there. So at this point, thank you very much, Costanza.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
And thank you for coming. Appreciate it.